That's the reason why sacrifice is not real, because you're making a decision now to make sure that the big, real thing that you want, the thing that's going to help you in the morning, waking up and doing your workout, is actually going to happen. Welcome to the VetRise Podcast. I'm your host, Juan Perez. My goal is to make success after service accessible to every veteran in society. I believe in the power of leveraging your service, not as a label that defines you, but as a launching pad for your next chapter. What we have been doing has not been working, and it's on us to start changing the culture. Enjoy the episode, and thank you for your time. Sacrifice. What are we going to be talking about today? Sacrifice. And why? It's actually not real. And what I mean by that is that a lot of times we think that we have to sacrifice one thing in order to achieve something else. But when we realize that the end result is much larger, that it's not really about sacrifice, is it? So sacrifice is not about losing. It's actually about getting something greater by paying the price now. So making the momentary decision and actually doing the delayed gratification work will give you a larger payout in the future. We want to make sure we understand that we have to think of it in a different way. Think of it like this. Every decision you make today can change your tomorrow. If today, when you are getting ready to go to bed, you want to sacrifice either sleep or sacrifice watching Ted Lasso Season 1, which you all should watch because it's an absolutely amazing show. You make the decision on which one you sacrifice. TV time, relaxing time, that pint of ice cream, or sleep. And if you can think about tomorrow, if you can think about the fact that tomorrow you have to wake up and you have a workout, or maybe you have to wake up and get to work on time, or maybe you have a project you're working on, and you're not taking the time to make the decision to sacrifice the Ted Lasso, the pint of ice cream, the staying up late, what you will sacrifice will be tomorrow's workout. What you will sacrifice is tomorrow's meal prep. What you will sacrifice is the progress you can make in the future. Sacrifice is not about pain. Sacrifice is not about you have to give something good up. In fact, you actually give up something that is going to hold you back in the future. And we have to change our mindset. We have to change our mindset. We have to change the way that we talk about sacrifice. Ask yourself, what are you truly willing to give up to get what you really want? What are you truly willing to give up to get what you really want? Are you willing to give up that Sunday chill day to make sure that for the next month or two, you plan out your entire week, you meal prep, you go for an extra walk, maybe you get an extra workout in? Are you willing to give up going out with your friends every other Friday night to make sure that you get your workouts done every single week? Are you willing to give up becoming a yes man at work and maybe volunteering for everything at work to start spending some time for yourself on your time and being able to hit the gym maybe after work? Are you willing to give up a little bit of time for you to make sure that you take care of your family and you treat them the right way by teaching them how to meal prep, give them the responsibility of knowing what it is to work out, to do a daily walk, maybe as a family? Sacrifice is not just a big life-changing moment. It's an everyday type of thing. Every day you make choices. I sacrificed sleeping in by making sure I woke up and still made it to the gym because I knew my day was going to be better if I went to the gym. Days like today are not about having the best workout ever. Days like today are making sure you make it to the gym, you get a workout in because you're going to have a hard day afterwards. So why not make it better by making sure that you release chemicals in your brain that are going to make today that much easier? If you want to, let's just say, boost your morning, maybe you have to sacrifice that sleep to crush an early workout, skip the gym, to have a little bit more rest. If you need to, that's okay. If you want to have a better evening, maybe you have to use those hours to build a new skill, to read a book, or scroll endlessly on social media because you know that's not helping you. Your weekends, maybe you have to sacrifice some of those weekends. Maybe you have to work a few extra hours to make sure that you can get the bills paid. And maybe you have to choose family time instead to make sure that you guys can meal prep together instead of you watching TV or watching freaking football or whatever. Your social life is a series of sacrifices. If you want to boost your career, are you going to go to that networking event? Or are you going to stay in the comfort zone in your own home. Tell yourself that you can't make it. If you want to make sure that your relationship gets better, it's also going to require sacrifice, time, effort, energy. Because if you're spending it in other areas, giving it to friends, to parents, to family, you can't give it to your partner. If you want to make sure that you boost your life in every area, you have to remember every single choice carries a consequence. Are you choosing wisely? Sacrifice is not about giving up something good for you. It's about understanding that the sacrifice will come from something that is actually not helping you. All right, let's stop for a minute. This is the part of the episode where I ask you to do me a favor. But it's not a favor for me. It's a favor for your fellow brothers and sisters that served with you. If you know someone that has been struggling, if you know someone that has been going through it right now, and you know that they want better for their life, they just don't know how to do it, please share this episode with them. It might just be exactly what they need. That's it. That's my only ask. If you want to subscribe, I appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Back to the episode. You have to sacrifice things in order to get to where you want to be, but it is not painful. It might feel that way for the very small moment, but the result that you will get, the prize that you will have at the end will be the fact that you were able to attain something that you would not be able to had you not made the decision to actually sacrifice something. Your sacrifices have to be aligned with what your big goals are. What are the major things in life that you want to be able to achieve? Are the things you're sacrificing pushing you towards what you want most in life, or are they pushing you away? Because last week, a few of you maybe sacrificed your workouts. For what? To stay at work late? To sleep in a little bit more? To go out with your friends? Those decisions that you made, did they push you in the direction of achieving your goals, or did they get you farther away from them? Having that drink with your friends, did that get you closer to where you want to be? Staying late at work and not even really getting a lot done because you know that you don't get a lot done when there's all this chaos at work. Get it done when you're supposed to. Work effectively in the morning so you don't have to stay late. Choosing to sleep in instead of going to the gym. Does that help you? Or did you make a mistake the night before and you sacrificed that sleep to be able to stay up watching Ted Lasso? Hence, the day after, you ended up choosing to sacrifice your gym time instead. You have to make sure that all your sacrifices align with the big goals in life. If you're constantly making choices that keep you stuck, it's time to change your approach. It's time to change your mindset. It's time to see and be self-aware, because we talk about self-awareness, that the decisions you're making are not pushing you in the direction you want to go. Maybe for the next couple of months, you have to sacrifice any extra spending because you're going into a period of your life where you have to decide that this or that is more important than other stuff. Maybe you have some sort of course coming up that's just starting, and you're going to have to sacrifice Netflix and Hulu and Grubhub and Uber Eats or whatever the hell you guys do. And that's okay. The result that you will get will be achieving your goals in the long run. Everything is about sacrifice. And the reason why it's not painful, the reason why it's not a bad thing, is because you get to decide, is it A or is it B? Which one will get you closer to where you want to be? You get to decide. And I want to challenge you guys. I want you guys to start thinking every single day and realizing that every decision will either be a step towards or away from your goals. So the next time you find yourself in that position of, do I want to chill and have a little bit of ice cream because I feel like I've earned it or deserve it, or do I want to sit here on my computer and plan out my entire week? Do I want to make sure that I put my workouts on my calendar? Do I want to make sure that my travel time is there for my gym so I can't say that I didn't make it to the gym because of traffic? We all know there's traffic. Do I want to make sure that I sacrifice maybe even some time with my kids because I'm trying to build a life for them? I'm trying to do something to show them that you don't have to live life just the way that life hands it to you. You can decide how life turns out for you. Are you going to sacrifice the thing that is going to give you that temporary comfort, or are you going to make sure that you do not sacrifice the thing that actually gets you to your goals? Which one will it be? And it's up to you guys. Now, you guys have to reframe your perspective on sacrifice. Understand this. You're not really giving up something. You're investing in your future. Every time that you make a decision to not have that treat, you're not giving it up. You're just making sure that you hit your goal weight. Every time you make a decision to go to bed on time, you're not giving up late night hours. You're making a decision that tomorrow morning, you're going to wake up with energy and be able to get your workout done. That's the reason why sacrifice is not real, because you're making a decision now to make sure that the big, real thing that you want, the thing that's going to help you in the morning, waking up and doing your workout, is actually going to happen. If you sacrifice not getting that 24-pack that you get every single weekend, it means that by the next week, you'll probably be down a couple pounds. You'll probably feel better. You won't feel bloated. You won't be drinking the entire week. Which one do you want? Which one is more important to you? The little comfort item now, or the real achievement in 1 week? You have to lean into the hard decisions. They're the things that are shaping your character, your habits, and your future. Life is supposed to be hard. It's not meant to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would be doing this. So the hard decisions about, do I want to say no to this girls' night? Do I want to feel like I'm not showing up for my friends? Or am I finally prioritizing myself? Because every time I go out, I have to spend 2 days recovering. Do I want to sacrifice football this weekend to make sure that I do meal prep and I go out with my family for a long walk? Maybe I get an extra workout in and I plan out my week? Or do I want to just enjoy it, sit on the couch, drinking a few beers, and then next week is freaking crap for me? You have to lean into the hard decisions. They're shaping you. Every single one of them is shaping you. The things that feel uncomfortable in life, the things that don't feel nice and easy for you, often those are the things that actually move the needle forward. Doing the hard things is how you get real results. Waking up at 4:30 in the morning, it's hard. Deciding that you're not going to have any donuts from Dunkin' Donuts for the next month is hard. Deciding that you're not going to drink for the next month because you want to see what will happen if you decide to do that, it's hard. Deciding that every single day during lunch, you're going to go for a 30-minute walk because you have an hour for lunch and you only need 15 minutes to eat. That's hard. But not doing so, deciding to do the opposite, will not get you anywhere. You'll miss your workouts. It'll be another weekend that you spend drinking. You won't plan your week. You're going to sleep in because you stayed up late. You're going to miss the gym and you keep telling yourself, well, I'll get it done in the weekend. And then what happens? The weekend will be the same as the week because you didn't plan. You go out with your friends, awesome. But guess what? Now you spend the entire weekend recovering. You decide that you want to sacrifice the wrong thing in life and life will come back at you and bite you in the ass. You have to lean into the hard decisions. So the next time you find yourself trying to make a decision of what you're going to sacrifice, really ask yourself which one is hard and then do that one. Do the hard one. If you realize that you start to feel overwhelmed, it's not about not having enough time. It's about prioritizing. Because if you start to feel overwhelmed, instead of looking at it as an opportunity, it's because you haven't prioritized right. It's because you haven't taken time to look at your calendar and decide what needs to stay, what needs to be deleted, and what needs to be delegated. Do you have to do all the things on your calendar? Or can it be put off or can it be changed to another day? Planning will help you with clarity. You either sacrifice the fact that you're going to make sure that you spend time doing stuff on the weekend so you don't have to do it during the week, or you sacrifice your weekend to make sure that your week turns out better because you planned for it. Successful people are not free of sacrifices. They're just experts at making the right ones. Successful people say no more often than they say yes because they understand the value of staying in their lane, of getting their priorities done, of not getting distracted. When you try and do too much or when you try and open up other stuff, when you try and add stuff to your plate, you think that you're sacrificing by, oh, well, I'm going to use my time wisely, but you're not. You're not prioritizing properly. And therefore, the thing that will be sacrificed is your schedule because now it is kaput. Everything is a sacrifice. However, it doesn't have to be painful. You don't have to sacrifice the thing that will move you forward in life. And if you join the program and you sacrificed money, guess what? That means that in 6 months or a year or 2 years, for those of you that are freaking OGs and you've been here for a while, what you will achieve will be monumental because you made the decision to invest yourself and sacrifice the funds to make sure that you can get where you want to. But you have to make it worth it. You have to do the work. You have to sacrifice some time during the week to plan out your week, to show up to these calls, to watch the feedback video, when you do your check-ins, to do your check-ins, to get to the gym, to make sure you do your meal prep, to do all these things. And it's a sacrifice. But it's really not, though, is it? Because we think of sacrifice as this bad thing, but it's not. It's just that you get to take something negative off your plate in order to get something better in the long run. The power of delayed gratification is not talked about enough. Delayed gratification, it applies everywhere, not just in the gym. When you understand that when you give up something now, when you let go of something that's holding you back, and you understand that maybe this month you don't see the results that you want, but when we look at the bigger picture, when we zoom out enough, you can see that you're making progress because of the sacrifices that you've made, because of the bad stuff that you've given up, because of the staying up late, because of the drinking that you gave up, because of the fact that you get your workouts done, because you don't allow negative people into your life, because you've started removing those toxic relationships from your life. Call it a sacrifice if you want, but in my opinion, you remove something negative from your life. Prioritize what gets you closer to your dreams, even if it means letting go of short-term comforts. I lived in my room for the past 2 years because I knew that one day this is what I would have. I lived in my room for the past 2 years because I knew that one day I would get my house back. And that was understanding the power of delayed gratification. I sacrificed amenities, comfort, because I knew that there was greatness ahead of me. I wake up in the morning and I jump in my ice barrel and I sacrifice a nice, calm, chill morning for discomfort, for some pain, because it hurts sometimes. Today it hurt. Why? Because I understand the power that in the afternoon I will have a much better day if I wake up and I jump in the ice barrel. Sacrifice applies everywhere in your life. It's just about what matters more to you. What matters more to you? You have to let go of the short-term comforts. You have to look at your life and really pay attention to what am I still keeping in my life that is a short-term comfort? Is it that snack that you love to have after every one of your meals? Is it the fact that you tell yourself Sundays are for rest only and you don't do your daily walk? Is it the fact that you don't want to meal prep because you think that it's better just to eat whatever you can, whenever you can, because you think it's more efficient for you? Is it the fact that you like to tell yourself that you're going to sleep in on Saturdays and Sundays because that's your sleep-in day? The thing that you're doing that you think is making you feel good momentarily is the thing that's holding you back because you won't give up that small little thing for monumental changes. We have to take action steps. We have to actually make sacrifices that matter. When we can identify the thing that we're willing to sacrifice for the big goals, write it down. And when I say write it down, I don't mean put it in a notebook and then never look at it again. But make the conscious decision that you're not going to do this anymore so you can replace it with something else because it has to be replaced. You can't just tell yourself, well, you know what? I'm going to make sure that I don't have any more treats, but I'm going to be able to go to bed on time. It's not going to happen unless you have a ritual and a routine to make sure you avoid it. Have a wind down routine. Replace the negative thing that you are removing from your life with something positive so it's permanent. Habit stack it. Do what you have to do to make sure that it actually is a permanent change. Do it consistently for 30 days. Put it on your calendar. Have Post-it notes all over your house to make sure that it gets done. Don't have it in your house. If the thing you're sacrificing is the Pop-Tarts that you have every weekend with your kids, stop buying the Pop-Tarts. If the thing you're sacrificing is the alcohol, stop buying the alcohol. Don't keep it in your house. If the thing you're sacrificing is the sleeping in, set your alarm, respect it, turn off the snooze. You have to get up. Review your daily choices. Are they aligned with what you want? At the end of the day, when you look back on your day and you reflect, did you make the right types of sacrifices that day? Or did you stay at work late because you thought that that is what's going to get you a promotion, but yet here you are and you've been doing it for the same time in the same number of years, yet you're still in the same place. But yet you keep losing yourself as a priority. Did you decide that today during lunch, instead of you going for your daily walk, you're going to work through lunch because that's going to get you ahead, right? Is it? Did you decide that today on your way home from work, you were supposed to go to the gym, but you sacrificed that because you said, I'll get it done tomorrow? When? You have another workout tomorrow. Did you sacrifice the wrong thing because you thought that it would create something positive for you when in reality it doesn't? Commit to one tough decision today that pushes you closer to the life you want. Commit to removing that negative thing from your life. If you know that you have trouble with alcohol, even though you don't want to admit it, stop buying it. Stop having it in your house. Stop going to the bar that you go to just to hang out with people that you don't even want to hang out with. If you have trouble with late night snacking, stop buying the snacks. If you have trouble with not getting your workouts in, put them on your calendar. Enough time for travel and respect it. If you have trouble with meal prep, add it to your calendar, buy containers, look at the recipes, do the shopping, and get it done. If you have trouble with accountability, set up support calls with me. If you have trouble with motivation, there is plenty of that here. I wake up every morning and I listen to a motivational video and I jump in my ice barrel. Why? Because I know that is going to be the thing that helps me get through my day. Everything is a sacrifice. The way you invest your money, who you spend your time with, what you decide to do on the weekends. It's either or. Do you sacrifice a little bit of money to make sure that you have enough protein for the month? Do you sacrifice that Netflix and Hulu to make sure you can buy that protein? Everything is a sacrifice. Now, you have to make the decision. Are you going to make the sacrifices that actually matter? Or are you going to allow life to continue to push you around? Because it's not going to get easier. The sacrifices will continue to be made. It might just be the wrong ones. Your future depends on the choices you make today. You have to make a decision to go all in. It can change in the future. You can get to your goal. You can decide, okay, maybe I will have one snack or one treat in the middle of the day to make sure that I'm not late night binging. You can decide, maybe I will sacrifice one walk every week to go to the park with my kids. It doesn't have to necessarily be all or nothing. It just has to make sure, you have to make sure that it aligns with your goals. What are you trying to achieve? And then make sure that you do that. For anybody that wants to give up that late night TV, commit to it for the next 2 weeks and then become self-aware and then pay attention to what changes for you. Like, start paying attention and start realizing, like, you're falling asleep earlier, you're waking up with more energy, your eyes are not tired, you're not drained, you don't feel dehydrated because you're watching TV, staying up late at night. And then, like, remember the progress that you made from that. Like, you don't make the change until you see the results sometimes. And it shouldn't be that way. But sometimes, like, you need to see the results for the change to be permanent. If you work out and you hit the gym for 1 month and you feel like you haven't made progress, it's hard. It's hard because you're like, what am I doing all this for? But if you work out, you do the right programs, you rest, you recover, you eat the right foods, you will make progress. And therefore, it's understandable and you kind of see why it's worth doing. So when you guys make these sacrifices, be self-aware of what changes in your life because it will be that much easier. It will be that much easier. And that brings us to the end of another episode of the VetRise Podcast. If today's episode inspired you, made you think, or simply gave you hope, I have a small favor to ask. Share it with just one veteran or someone you think could benefit from my message. Your share could light a spark for them. You don't know who you might save. For more insights and to join our mission, follow my socials at JP, the Veteran Coach, and explore how we can rise together. Thank you for joining us, for being part of this journey, and for believing in the power of rising together. Until next time, keep pushing forward, keep rising, and never forget that we are stronger together. My name is Juan Perez, and thank you for your time.